What does it really mean to be unmoved? Not untouched by life's storms, not numb to pain or indifferent to struggle, but unmoved in a way that nothing outside can shake the foundation beneath your feet. Imagine standing in the middle of a hurricane, the wind roaring, the rain battering everything around you, yet you remain perfectly still, anchored deep within yourself. This is not a fantasy or a distant ideal. It is a state of being you can claim for yourself. The calm you seek is not a passive retreat, but a powerful active choice. It is the strength to keep your heart steady when the world demands you break. This choice isn't given, it is taken. And once taken, it transforms everything. It means that no matter how much chaos crashes at your door, no matter the weight of fear or loss pressing on your chest, you carry an unshakable center that cannot be broken. This calm is the bedrock of courage. When you cultivate this kind of inner stillness, you give yourself a gift more precious than any external success or approval, control over your own mind and emotions. Think about the times when fear or stress made your vision narrow, your breath shallow, your decisions rushed and clouded. In those moments, you lost more than calm. You lost clarity, strength, the very ability to move forward with purpose. But what if you could train your mind to resist that pull? What if in the heat of crisis your mind could stay clear, your heart steady, your body poised? The difference would be monumental. Acting unmoved is not about ignoring pain or pretending you are invincible. It is about responding with intention instead of reaction. It is the ability to face adversity without surrendering to it. And this ability, this choice, sets you apart from every voice that tells you to crumble, every doubt that screams for you to give up. There is a quiet power in calm that many overlook. It allows you to see what others miss. It frees you from the chaos of overwhelming emotion so you can act with precision and purpose. It is not weakness, it is the deepest form of strength. When you master this, you stop being a victim of circumstance. Instead, you become the author of your own story. You gain a peace that no storm can steal and a power no crisis can diminish. This strength doesn't mean you will never feel pain or frustration. It means you won't let those feelings decide your fate. You will learn to stand firm, even when everything inside you wants to fall apart. By the time this message ends, you will understand why acting unmoved is the key to staying unbroken. You will see how this state of calm is the foundation for courage, resilience, and transformation. And you will discover simple truths that will help you begin this journey today. The reward is more than peace. It is freedom. Freedom from the endless battle within. Freedom to move forward with confidence. Freedom to live boldly, unshaken by what life throws your way. Stay with this, because inside these words lies the power to change how you face every challenge, how you respond to every hardship, and ultimately, how you shape the life you were meant to live. Brokenness is not what you think it is. It is not just the moments when life feels heavy or when pain cuts deep. Brokenness is a deeper, more dangerous place. The place where you stop fighting, where you surrender to the weight instead of rising above it. It's the moment your spirit feels fractured, not because the world dealt you a hard hand, but because you allowed that hardship to define you. The fear of breaking is real, and it hides in every shadow of your mind. It whispers that you're too weak, too tired, too damaged to go on. But here's the truth no one tells you. Feeling broken does not mean you are broken beyond repair. Feeling vulnerable does not mean you must give up. It means you are human, and that humanness holds an incredible potential for healing and strength. The greatest danger is not the pain itself. It's the choice to let that pain shatter you, to let it become your identity. You might have felt this, the heaviness that settles deep in your chest, the cold numbness that follows disappointment, the quiet surrender of hope after repeated failure. These moments are terrifying because they feel like the end of the road. But in reality, they are crossroads. Every time you face brokenness, you have a choice to let it break you or to use it as the soil where strength grows. This choice is not made once and forgotten. It is made in every moment, sometimes repeatedly, in the small spaces between breaths and thoughts. Your mind is where this battle is won or lost. If you allow doubt and despair to flood your thoughts unchecked, brokenness will take hold. But if you recognize those feelings as temporary waves instead of permanent truths, You can begin to build a shield no pain can penetrate. The fear of being broken can trap you in a cycle of avoidance, hiding, or numbing yourself to what hurts. But true courage is facing that fear head-on and refusing to let it control your life. It's about building a mental fortress so resilient that even when your body trembles, your spirit stands firm. This is the essence of staying unbroken. Not a denial of pain, but an unyielding refusal to be defined by it. Your wounds do not have to become your prison. Instead, they can become the marks of your survival, proof that you endured when many would have given up. Recognize that brokenness is a state of mind, not a fate sealed by circumstance. When you believe you're broken, you give away your power. But when you know that brokenness can be met with courage, with patience, and with relentless will, you reclaim that power. You create space for healing, for growth, and for transformation. The process is not quick or easy, but it is possible, and every step forward is a victory. You will feel the temptation to fall back into old patterns, to listen to the voice that says you cannot endure. Resist it. Stand firm. Each time you choose to act unmoved, you chip away at the walls that threaten to trap you. This is your invitation to face brokenness not as an end, but as a challenge to rise stronger. It is the moment you decide that no matter how heavy the weight, you will not break, because the unbroken do not deny their pain. They master it. They let it refine their courage instead of extinguish it. And in doing so, they become unstoppable. Your mind and body are inseparable allies in this fight for strength. When your thoughts spiral into fear and doubt, your body reacts, tightening, trembling, retreating. This cycle feeds itself until you feel overwhelmed, disconnected, as if every part of you is under siege. But the truth is, you hold the power to break this cycle. You can anchor yourself through your breath, through your posture, through simple, conscious control over your physical state. When your body stands strong, your mind follows. When you breathe deeply and fully, you send a signal of safety and control to your brain. This physiological feedback calms the storm inside, allowing your mind to step back from panic and into clarity. It is not magic, it is science. The ability to influence your mental state through your body is a tool everyone possesses, but few truly understand or use. Imagine a moment when your heart races, your chest tightens, and fear tries to drown your thoughts. If you can slow your breath, square your shoulders, and ground your feet, you send a clear message to your nervous system: you are safe. This message quiets the chaos, sharpens your focus, and opens the door to conscious choice. You stop reacting out of habit and start responding with intention. This shift is the foundation of acting unmoved. It is the difference between being swept away by emotion and standing firm amidst it. Controlling your body does not erase pain or fear, but it puts you in the driver's seat, giving you the space to decide how you move forward. Mindfulness is another powerful ally. It trains your brain to observe your thoughts and feelings without judgment, to see fear or anger not as enemies, but as signals that pass through you rather than anchors that trap you. This mental distance weakens their power and strengthens your resilience. When you practice being present, you cultivate an unshakable calm that persists even when everything around you is unstable. This calm is not a withdrawal from reality. It is a courageous confrontation with it, grounded in awareness and control. It allows you to respond with clarity and strength instead of reacting with confusion and weakness. Physical habits reinforce this strength. How you carry yourself daily, your posture, your movement, your breath, shapes not only how others see you, but how you see yourself. Standing tall, breathing deeply, and moving with intention create a feedback loop that builds confidence and resilience over time. These habits become armor, invisible but powerful, protecting your mind from the corrosive effects of stress and doubt. The simple act of maintaining physical strength mirrors and supports mental and emotional strength. This unity between body and mind is essential to staying unbroken. Your power lies in this connection. When you master your body, you master your mind. When you anchor yourself physically, your emotions find steadiness. Acting unmoved is not about denying what you feel. It is about rising above automatic reactions to build a fortress of calm inside you. This fortress is your refuge and your weapon. It allows you to face hardship with clarity, to stand firm when others crumble, to keep moving forward when the path is dark. The strength you build here is real, lasting, and available to you right now. All it requires is your decision to claim it, breath by breath, moment by moment. Struggle is not the enemy, it is the crucible in which resilience is forged. The challenges you face, the pain you endure, and the setbacks you encounter are not signs that you are weak or destined to break. They are the raw material of growth, the pressure that shapes you into something stronger, sharper, and more capable. Your brain is designed to adapt, to rewire itself through adversity. This is not a vague promise, but a scientific reality. Each difficulty, each moment of hardship is an opportunity for your mind to grow new connections, to build pathways that lead to greater strength and wisdom. This process is known as post-traumatic growth, a transformation that occurs not in spite of suffering, but because of it. This means your pain can be the source of your power. It means that every time you feel like you are falling apart, you are actually being rebuilt from the inside out. The broken pieces you fear are not the end of your story, they are the foundation of your comeback. This truth challenges the common belief that hardship only damages us. Instead, it shows that resilience is something you can develop, something you can cultivate with intention. The mind is a muscle, and adversity is the weight that makes it stronger. This understanding shifts your relationship with struggle. It invites you to stop resisting difficulty and start embracing it as a teacher and a catalyst for transformation. When you accept that growth comes through struggle, you stop fearing failure and brokenness as final states. You begin to see them as temporary phases, necessary steps on the path to becoming unbreakable. This mindset changes everything. It reduces the power of fear and anxiety because you know that whatever you face, you can emerge stronger. It fuels courage because you are no longer running from pain, but moving through it with purpose. It ignites hope because you trust that suffering is not a dead end, but a doorway to new strength. This transformation requires commitment. It demands that you lean into discomfort rather than avoid it. It calls for patience because growth is gradual and sometimes invisible in the moment. But every act of endurance, every refusal to give up is a victory. Each time you choose to face hardship with courage instead of surrender, you are training your brain to resist brokenness. You are rewiring yourself for resilience. This is the essence of staying unbroken, not avoiding the storm, but learning to dance within it. Your mind can grow stronger with every challenge you meet head on. This is not luck or chance. It is the result of conscious effort and belief in your own capacity. The more you embrace struggle as a tool for growth, the more resilient you become. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstance and start seeing yourself as a warrior of transformation. This mindset empowers you to act unmoved in the face of hardship, because you know that within every struggle lies the seed of your next breakthrough. Strength is not the absence of struggle, it is the mastery of it. The storms will come, the pressure will rise. But you have the power to use these moments as fuel, to grow beyond what you thought possible, to become someone who no hardship can break, no fear can shake, and no obstacle can stop. This is the path of resilience, and it is yours to walk. The battle for resilience begins within your thoughts. Your mind is the battleground where strength is either built or broken. Every belief you hold about yourself, every story you tell yourself about what you can endure or achieve, shapes the reality you create. If you believe you are fragile, vulnerable to being crushed by life's pressure, your body and mind will follow that belief. If you decide you are strong, capable of withstanding hardship, your nervous system adapts to support that truth. This is not wishful thinking. It is the science of neuroplasticity. Your brain is constantly rewiring itself in response to your focus and actions. What you choose to feed your mind today is the foundation of your strength tomorrow. To act unmoved, you must become aware of the inner dialogue that either empowers or weakens you. The thoughts that say, I can't, or this is too much, are chains. The thoughts that say, I am capable, or I will rise, are wings. You are the gatekeeper of this inner world. No external circumstance has power over you until you allow it through your thoughts. The power to stay unbroken begins with this choice, to reject mental defeat and embrace mental resilience. This choice is not passive. It requires daily practice, vigilance, and courage. It is a commitment to yourself that no matter what storms rage outside, you will protect the calm inside. Repetition strengthens the mind just as exercise strengthens the body. Affirmations, focused intentions, and self-encouragement are not just cliches. They are tools for rewiring your brain to resist brokenness. Each time you affirm your strength, you reinforce a neural pathway that supports resilience. This repeated mental exercise rewires your brain, making it easier to access courage and calm when adversity strikes. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes to act unmoved, not because you deny the pain, but because your mind has trained itself to remain steady amid it. This mental training also quiets the voice of fear. Fear thrives in uncertainty and chaos. It tells you to run, hide, or give up. But when your mind is disciplined, fear loses its grip. It becomes a background noise instead of a command center. You learn to observe fear without surrendering to it, to acknowledge its presence without allowing it to dictate your actions. This detachment does not mean you are emotionless. It means you have mastered your emotions. You transform fear into fuel, anxiety into alertness, and doubt into determination. The ability to control your inner narrative is a game changer. It rewrites the story of who you are and what you can endure. When you consistently choose thoughts that empower you, you create an identity of strength. This identity becomes your shield and your sword. It protects you from the impact of hardship and arms you with the confidence to face whatever comes next. Acting unmoved is not about ignoring reality. It is about owning your mental power to shape your experience and your future. You hold the pen that writes your mental script. Choose to write a story of resilience. Choose to act unmoved, even when every instinct screams to break. This is the foundation of staying unbroken. Your mind is the first battlefield and the final victory. When you master your thoughts, you master your life. Resilience is not born from comfort. It is forged in discomfort, in challenge, and in the relentless push against limits. Every time you face hardship and refuse to let it break you, you build an inner strength that becomes a force of nature. This strength is not just a reaction. It is a deliberate choice to rise above pain, fear, and doubt. It is the decision to stand firm even when everything inside screams to fall apart. When you choose resilience, you are saying that your spirit will not be crushed, your heart will not be hardened, and your mind will not be enslaved by negativity. You claim ownership over your experience, refusing to be a passive victim of circumstance. This ownership demands fierce honesty with yourself. It requires you to face your fears and weaknesses without denial or distraction. To act unmoved does not mean ignoring pain or pretending everything is fine. It means acknowledging your struggle clearly and choosing courage in spite of it. This clarity is liberating. When you stop fighting your emotions and start understanding them, you gain control. Pain becomes a signal, not a sentence. Fear becomes a challenge, not a cage. Every uncomfortable feeling is an invitation to grow stronger, to become more resilient, and to deepen your capacity to endure. The path to staying unbroken is paved with small, consistent acts of courage. Each moment you choose to breathe through anxiety instead of fleeing it, you deepen your resilience. Each time you speak kindly to yourself when self-doubt rises, you reinforce your mental strength. Every refusal to succumb to despair, no matter how brief, strengthens your foundation. These moments add up, creating a momentum that propels you forward even when the road feels impossible. Resilience is not a sudden miracle. It is a gradual accumulation of choices made in the face of difficulty. Understanding this process shifts your perspective on hardship. Instead of seeing obstacles as threats to your well-being, you begin to view them as opportunities for growth. This mindset transforms your relationship with pain and struggle. You stop fearing the inevitable storms of life because you know they are part of your journey to strength. This shift is not easy, but it is powerful. It frees you from the victim mentality and places you firmly in the driver's seat of your life. When you embrace this truth, you unlock a wellspring of inner power. You become someone who no longer fears being broken because you understand that brokenness is not final. It is a threshold you can cross and emerge from stronger than before. This knowledge brings a profound peace, a peace born not from the absence of trouble, but from the assurance that you can face any challenge without losing yourself. It is the peace of someone who acts unmoved because their foundation is unshakable. This peace is your greatest weapon. It steadies your heart, sharpens your mind, and fuels your courage. It makes you unbreakable. You have the power to cultivate this strength today, in this moment, by choosing to face discomfort, to own your experience, and to refuse defeat. The journey to staying unbroken is yours to claim, one courageous step at a time. True strength comes from knowing yourself deeply, your limits, your fears, your triggers, and still choosing to move forward. Self-awareness is the cornerstone of resilience. Without it, you risk being swept away by emotions and reactions that cloud your judgment and drain your energy. When you cultivate awareness, you begin to recognize the subtle shifts in your mind and body that signal stress, doubt, or defeat. This early recognition gives you the power to intervene before those feelings control you. You learn to pause, breathe, and respond with intention instead of reacting out of habit. This pause is where transformation begins. It is the moment you reclaim control and choose to act unmoved. Self-awareness also sharpens your understanding of your own story. The narratives you tell yourself about who you are, what you deserve, and what you are capable of shape your reality. If you see yourself as fragile or powerless, your actions will reflect that belief. If you see yourself as strong and capable, you align your behavior with that truth. This alignment between belief and action creates momentum. It fuels confidence and courage, making it easier to face adversity head-on. Awareness allows you to spot negative narratives before they take root and replace them with empowering truths. This mental discipline is essential for staying unbroken. This process requires brutal honesty. It means confronting uncomfortable truths about your weaknesses and mistakes without judgment or shame. Growth cannot happen in denial. By facing your flaws and limitations clearly, you create space for change. This honesty is a form of self-respect. It says, I am committed to becoming stronger, no matter how hard the work. This commitment transforms challenges into opportunities. Every failure becomes a lesson, every setback a stepping stone. You stop fearing imperfection and start embracing progress. As you deepen your self-awareness, you also become more attuned to your emotional patterns. You notice what triggers anxiety, anger, or despair, and you begin to understand why. This understanding reduces their power over you. Instead of being a victim of your emotions, you become their master. You learn strategies to manage them, grounding yourself in the present, challenging irrational thoughts and focusing on what you can control. These practices create a buffer between stimulus and response, allowing you to maintain calm under pressure. Acting unmoved becomes a habit, not a rare achievement. Your ability to stay unbroken depends on this continuous inner work. Resilience is not a fixed trait, but a dynamic skill you develop every day. It requires patience and persistence because progress is often invisible in the moment. But each effort adds strength to your foundation. The more you practice self-awareness and emotional regulation, the more natural it becomes to face hardship with clarity and courage. You no longer dread challenges because you trust your capacity to navigate them. This trust is transformative. It frees you from the paralysis of fear and indecision. It fuels action and fuels hope. When you know yourself deeply and respond intentionally, you create an unshakable core. This core is your refuge and your power source. It is where you find the courage to act unmoved, no matter what storms arise. In this space, you become truly unbreakable, grounded in self-awareness, empowered by honesty, and fueled by unwavering determination. Every moment you hesitate to face your challenges, you give power to doubt and fear. These forces thrive in indecision, feeding off your uncertainty and wearing down your resolve. But true strength demands decisive action. It requires you to step forward, even when the path is unclear, even when your heart pounds with uncertainty. Action fuels courage, and courage fuels resilience. Waiting for perfect conditions or guaranteed success only delays your growth and weakens your spirit. The choice to act, to move forward despite fear, is the defining moment where strength is born. This act of courage is not reckless. It is deliberate and grounded in your commitment to stay unbroken. Taking action shifts you from being a passive observer of your life to an active participant. When you act, you reclaim control over your story. You disrupt the cycle of anxiety and paralysis that keeps you stuck. Each step you take, no matter how small, builds momentum and reinforces your belief in your own power. This momentum is a powerful force. It propels you through obstacles and silences the voice that tells you to give up. The very act of moving forward rewires your brain, strengthening neural pathways that support resilience, confidence, and hope. Action is the antidote to overwhelm. When problems feel too big, taking a single step breaks them down into manageable parts. This focus on the immediate next move grounds you in the present and prevents your mind from spiraling into catastrophic thinking. It also builds a pattern of success, however small, that accumulates into undeniable proof of your strength. These victories become your armor against doubt and fear. They remind you that you are capable of navigating hardship and emerging stronger on the other side. Decisive action also teaches you something critical. Failure is not the opposite of success, but a part of it. Every attempt, every risk, even every misstep is a necessary part of growth. When you act without fear of failure, you free yourself from its paralyzing grip. You embrace imperfection as a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. This mindset dissolves the illusion that you must be flawless to be strong. Real strength is built through trying, failing, and trying again. It is built through perseverance, grit, and relentless determination. The power to act unmoved lies in this understanding. You move forward not because the path is easy, but because your commitment to yourself is stronger than your fear. You learn to trust your inner strength, knowing that each step taken in courage is a step away from brokenness and toward freedom. This trust transforms uncertainty into possibility and paralysis into progress. You become a force that refuses to be stopped by doubt, pain, or adversity. Your life responds to your actions. The world shifts when you choose to engage with it boldly and intentionally. The storms you feared become challenges you meet with confidence. The weight of uncertainty lifts as you build momentum through movement. Acting unmoved is not about waiting for fear to disappear. It is about choosing courage every time, no matter how you feel. This is how you stay unbroken. This is how you claim your power, step by step, action by action, until nothing can shake your resolve. Pain and discomfort are inevitable parts of life, yet how you respond to them determines whether you remain broken or become unbreakable. The greatest strength lies not in avoiding pain, but in learning to stand firm within it. When you accept discomfort as a teacher rather than an enemy, you unlock a profound source of resilience. This acceptance does not mean resignation or passivity. It means choosing to face difficulty with open eyes and an unshakable spirit. It means allowing pain to pass through you without losing yourself in the process. This shift in perspective transforms suffering from a barrier into a bridge, connecting where you are now to the stronger, wiser person you are becoming. When pain arises, the instinct is often to resist or flee. This reaction, though natural, gives pain power over you. Resistance amplifies suffering because it adds fear, frustration, and denial on top of the original hurt. Choosing to lean into discomfort instead requires courage. It demands that you hold space for difficult emotions without letting them define you. This act of courage rewires your relationship with pain. Instead of fearing it, you learn to respect it as a signal that growth is happening. The discomfort becomes a signpost pointing toward transformation. You stop running and start growing. This mindset is backed by science. Studies show that people who approach pain and challenges with acceptance tend to recover faster and develop greater psychological resilience. Their brains build stronger connections that support emotional regulation and stress management. When you choose acceptance, you activate your brain's natural capacity to heal and adapt. This biological response strengthens your capacity to stay grounded, even when life threatens to overwhelm you. Acceptance is not weakness. It is the foundation of inner power. Pain also teaches patience. Strength is not always about immediate action or quick fixes. Sometimes it is about endurance, the quiet, steady refusal to be defeated even when progress is slow or invisible. This patience is a powerful form of strength because it requires you to trust the process, trust yourself, and trust that this moment of struggle is temporary. Patience cultivates calm and steadiness, two qualities that make acting unmoved possible. When you are patient with your pain, you create space for healing and growth to unfold naturally. Furthermore, embracing discomfort deepens your self-awareness. It reveals your true capacity to tolerate hardship and adapt to change. You learn what triggers your pain and how to manage your response. This insight gives you greater control over your emotional landscape. It allows you to choose your reactions instead of being controlled by them. This control is the essence of staying unbroken. It transforms you from a passive sufferer into an active warrior of your own well-being. Ultimately, the choice to accept and stand within pain empowers you to transcend it. It builds a fortress of resilience around your heart and mind. This fortress does not block out life's storms. It absorbs their impact and remains steady. You become someone who acts unmoved, not because life is easy, but because you have cultivated the strength to endure and rise above. This strength is yours to claim now in this very moment through acceptance, patience, and courage. The power to stay unbroken grows strongest when you embrace your vulnerability instead of hiding from it. Vulnerability is often mistaken for weakness, but it is actually the gateway to true strength. It takes courage to be open with yourself about your fears, doubts, and insecurities. When you allow yourself to feel these emotions fully, without judgment or suppression, you connect with your authentic self. This authenticity grounds you and builds resilience because it removes the exhausting burden of pretending. Acting unmoved does not mean erasing vulnerability. It means owning it, standing tall within it, and letting it fuel your transformation. By facing vulnerability head-on, you disarm its power to control you. When you resist or deny vulnerability, it festers beneath the surface, creating hidden cracks in your foundation. These cracks weaken your resolve over time, making you more susceptible to being broken by pressure. But when you accept vulnerability as part of your human experience, you become whole. You stop running from discomfort and start embracing the truth that imperfection is natural, necessary, and even beautiful. This acceptance is liberating. It frees you to engage with life fully and courageously, no matter the risks involved. Vulnerability also deepens your capacity for connection, not just with others, but with yourself. When you acknowledge your true feelings and experiences, you cultivate self-compassion. This kindness towards yourself is crucial for resilience. It prevents the harsh self-criticism that drains your energy and saps your confidence. Instead, it creates a nurturing inner environment where growth can flourish. Acting unmoved becomes less about suppressing pain and more about embracing it with care and understanding. This compassion fuels perseverance, allowing you to keep moving forward when the world feels heavy. The brain thrives on genuine connection and compassion. Neuroscience reveals that self-compassion activates areas associated with soothing and emotional regulation. When you treat yourself with kindness in vulnerable moments, you strengthen your ability to manage stress and anxiety. This physiological response supports staying grounded and clear-minded under pressure. Vulnerability becomes not a source of weakness, but a wellspring of strength that enhances your mental and emotional resilience. Owning your vulnerability also empowers you to take calculated risks. When you are honest about your fears but do not let them dictate your choices, you expand your comfort zone. This expansion is where growth happens. It requires courage to expose your true self and to act despite uncertainty and potential failure. Yet this very act of stepping into discomfort builds confidence and reinforces your unbreakable core. You learn that vulnerability is not a barrier, but a bridge to greater courage and freedom. By integrating vulnerability with strength, you become someone who acts unmoved, not because you are invincible, but because you are deeply human, aware, courageous, and compassionate. This integration creates a powerful equilibrium where resilience and authenticity coexist. It is this balance that allows you to stay unbroken through any storm. You no longer fear being seen or feeling deeply. Instead, you trust your capacity to endure, adapt, and thrive, knowing your vulnerability is the source of your true power. True resilience is forged not only in how you face your own inner battles, but also in how you respond to the world's unpredictability. Life is filled with uncertainty, unexpected setbacks, and challenges that test your very core. To stay unbroken, you must cultivate a mindset that embraces uncertainty instead of fearing it. This mindset doesn't rely on rigid plans or illusions of control. It thrives on flexibility, adaptability, and an unwavering belief in your ability to navigate whatever comes your way. When you shift your relationship with uncertainty from resistance to acceptance, you transform chaos into opportunity. Accepting uncertainty means recognizing that control is often an illusion. The more you try to force certainty, the more fragile your peace becomes. Real power lies in surrendering the need for perfect outcomes and focusing on your response instead. This shift liberates you from the paralysis of fear and anxiety that comes from worrying about what you cannot change. When you release this burden, you free your mind and heart to focus on what truly matters: your actions, your attitude, and your resilience. This acceptance does not breed passivity. It fuels proactive courage. When you understand that uncertainty is a natural part of life, you prepare yourself mentally and emotionally to face it head on. You become resourceful, creative, and solution-oriented. Instead of retreating when plans fail or when the future feels unclear, you move forward with curiosity and determination. This dynamic approach strengthens your inner foundation, making you less vulnerable to breakdowns when the unexpected strikes. Flexibility also enhances your ability to recover quickly from setbacks. When you are rigid in your expectations, any deviation can feel like a catastrophe. This rigidity amplifies emotional pain and slows down healing. But when you adopt a flexible mindset, you adapt to changing circumstances without losing sight of your core values and goals. This adaptability is a key marker of resilience. It enables you to bend without breaking, to pivot when necessary, and to find new paths when old ones close. Your capacity to evolve becomes your greatest asset. Uncertainty also invites humility, which deepens your strength. Humility helps you accept that you don't have all the answers and that failure is part of growth. This acceptance removes the pressure to be perfect and opens you to learning and improvement. It grounds you in reality, allowing you to see challenges clearly without distortion or denial. This clear vision is essential for acting unmoved. It prevents you from being caught off guard or overwhelmed because you expect change and prepare for it mentally and emotionally. Ultimately, the willingness to embrace uncertainty builds an unshakable confidence. This confidence is not arrogance, but a deep trust in your resilience and your ability to adapt. It is a quiet assurance that no matter what happens, you will endure and thrive. This assurance strengthens your resolve to act unmoved, not because life is predictable, but because you have learned to flow with its unpredictability. In this flow, you find freedom, power, and peace. Your strength is no longer dependent on external conditions, but rooted firmly in your unbreakable spirit. Your mindset is the foundation upon which unbreakable strength is built. It shapes every thought, feeling, and action. To stay unbroken, cultivating a mindset of unwavering belief in your own resilience is essential. This belief is not a blind optimism, but a conscious choice to see yourself as capable and powerful regardless of circumstances. It's a mindset that acknowledges pain, setbacks, and fear, but refuses to let them define your identity or dictate your future. When your mind is aligned with this deep conviction, you build an internal fortress that no external challenge can penetrate. The mind has incredible power to shape reality. Neuroscience shows that your thoughts influence your brain structure, creating patterns that reinforce either strength or weakness. When you focus on your ability to endure and grow, you activate pathways that boost confidence and emotional stability. This neuroplasticity means resilience is not fixed. It can be developed intentionally through disciplined mental practice. Every time you choose to see obstacles as opportunities rather than threats, you strengthen this mental muscle. This daily commitment transforms your brain into an ally, not an enemy, in your pursuit of staying unbroken. Belief in yourself fuels perseverance. When difficulties arise, this belief pushes you to keep moving forward, even when progress seems slow or invisible. It quiets the inner critic that says you aren't enough or you can't succeed. Instead, it fills your mind with affirmations of strength and possibility. This positive self-talk is not empty cheerleading. It rewires your brain to focus on solutions and potential rather than problems and limitations. Your mindset becomes a guiding light that illuminates the path through darkness and uncertainty. This belief also nurtures emotional regulation. Resilience requires the ability to manage intense emotions without being overwhelmed by them. When your mind is grounded in self-trust, you create a calm center that anchors you during storms. This calm allows you to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. It gives you space to choose your actions wisely and to maintain clarity under pressure. Emotional control is not about suppressing feelings, but about mastering them, turning emotion from a potential weakness into a source of strength and insight. Cultivating this mindset demands daily practice and intentionality. It requires you to challenge negative thoughts, replace them with empowering beliefs, and remind yourself of your past victories and inner resources. This mental discipline builds momentum that propels you forward. Over time, your mindset becomes resilient not just in theory, but in practice. It withstands setbacks, criticism, and self-doubt with unwavering determination. When your mind embraces this power, you move through life acting unmoved because you know your strength is born from within. You trust that no matter what happens, your inner fortress will hold. This belief becomes the root of your courage and the source of your peace. It makes you unbreakable, not because life is easy, but because your mind is forged in the fires of relentless self-trust and fierce commitment to growth. Discipline is the bridge between desire and achievement, the unyielding force that transforms fleeting motivation into lasting strength. To act unmoved and stay unbroken, you must cultivate discipline as a daily practice, not just a concept. Discipline is not about harshness or rigidity. It is about consistent commitment to your values and goals, even when enthusiasm fades or obstacles arise. This unwavering consistency builds habits that support resilience, creating a foundation so solid that external chaos cannot shake it. Every small act of discipline compounds into monumental inner power. When you practice discipline, you train your mind and body to respond with intention rather than impulse. This intentional response is what allows you to remain steady amid life's storms. Discipline gives you control over your actions, preventing reactive behaviors driven by fear, doubt, or frustration. Instead, you create space to choose courage, patience, and perseverance. This ability to choose your response is a defining characteristic of strength. It separates those who break under pressure from those who rise stronger. Discipline sharpens this ability, making it second nature to act with purpose and clarity. Discipline also fosters accountability to yourself first and foremost. When you hold yourself accountable, you honor your commitments, no matter how difficult they seem. This self-respect builds confidence and trust in your own capabilities. It silences the inner voice that says, "I can't" or "I won't." Accountability fuels momentum, keeping you moving forward even when progress is slow or invisible. It transforms obstacles into challenges to overcome rather than reasons to quit. This mindset shift is crucial for staying unbroken, as it prevents small setbacks from becoming catastrophic failures. Scientific research reveals that disciplined individuals have greater emotional regulation, better stress management, and enhanced focus. These qualities directly contribute to resilience. Discipline trains your brain to delay gratification, tolerate discomfort, and persist toward long-term goals. It strengthens neural pathways associated with self-control and goal-directed behavior. This neurobiological advantage equips you to face adversity without crumbling, maintaining composure when others might give in to despair or distraction. Moreover, discipline cultivates humility and patience. Growth rarely happens overnight. It requires steady effort and acceptance of the gradual nature of progress. Discipline teaches you to embrace this pace, to show up daily regardless of immediate results. This patience is a form of strength that sustains you through the toughest seasons. It anchors you in the belief that consistent effort inevitably leads to transformation. Acting unmoved is less about dramatic breakthroughs and more about quiet, persistent commitment fueled by discipline. Ultimately, discipline is your ally in building an unbreakable spirit. It empowers you to create routines and mindsets that protect your resilience. It allows you to harness your energy, focus your will, and rise above fleeting emotions that threaten to derail you. With discipline, you stand firm not because life is easy, but because you have chosen to show up again and again with courage and unwavering commitment. This relentless dedication becomes the bedrock of your strength, a strength that no storm can topple, no challenge can diminish. The way you speak to yourself shapes your reality more than any external force. Your inner dialogue can either be a fortress of strength or a prison of doubt. To act unmoved and stay unbroken, mastering your self-talk is essential. It means consciously choosing words that empower, uplift, and affirm your resilience. Every thought you nurture has the power to fuel courage or deepen fear. When you commit to speaking to yourself with kindness and conviction, you build an unshakable foundation of self-worth that no challenge can erode. Negative self-talk is a silent enemy that chips away at your confidence and steals your peace. It whispers lies of inadequacy and failure, convincing you to settle for less or give up entirely. This toxic narrative clouds your vision and saps your motivation. Breaking free requires awareness and discipline to intercept these harmful thoughts and replace them with truths rooted in your strength and potential. This mental shift rewires your brain, creating new pathways that reinforce positivity and resilience. The more consistently you practice this, the more natural it becomes to respond to adversity with grace rather than despair. Affirming your own value in moments of doubt is not arrogance, it is survival. When life pressures mount and you feel vulnerable, reminding yourself of your worth anchors you. It creates a psychological safe space where your spirit can regroup and heal. This self-affirmation serves as a shield against the harsh judgments of others and the sting of failure. It reinforces your commitment to persevere and reminds you that setbacks do not define your identity. Your worth is inherent, unshaken by external events. Moreover, positive self-talk enhances your ability to focus on solutions rather than problems. It encourages a growth mindset, an understanding that challenges are opportunities to learn and evolve. This mindset fuels motivation and creativity, helping you navigate obstacles with resourcefulness. When you believe in your capacity to adapt and grow, you naturally act with steadiness and determination. Your inner voice becomes a powerful coach, guiding you through uncertainty with calm assurance. Silencing the inner critic also improves emotional regulation. Negative self-talk often triggers stress and anxiety, weakening your ability to stay composed. Conversely, compassionate and empowering language soothes your nervous system, fostering calm and clarity. This emotional equilibrium is vital for maintaining resilience in the face of adversity. It allows you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively, preserving your strength and focus. Mastering your self-talk is a daily practice requiring patience and persistence. It demands vigilance to catch negative patterns and courage to rewrite your inner story. Over time, this practice transforms your mindset, reshaping your identity around strength, hope, and unwavering belief in your own resilience. This mental transformation is the heart of acting unmoved. When your inner voice stands strong, you become unbreakable, not because life is easy, but because you have cultivated a sanctuary of strength within yourself that no external storm can dismantle. Your environment shapes the strength of your mind more than you realize. The people you surround yourself with, the spaces you inhabit, and the influences you allow into your life either build you up or tear you down. To act unmoved and stay unbroken, it is crucial to curate an environment that supports your resilience. This means being intentional about what you expose yourself to, choosing connections and surroundings that nourish your spirit and reinforce your commitment to growth. When your environment aligns with your inner strength, it creates a powerful synergy that sustains you through the toughest moments. Toxic influences, whether people or situations, drain your energy and undermine your confidence. They plant seeds of doubt, provoke unnecessary stress, and distract you from your purpose. These negative forces chip away at your mental armor, making it harder to remain steady. Recognizing these harmful elements and having the courage to distance yourself from them is a vital act of self-preservation. This boundary setting is not selfish, it is essential, Protecting your mental and emotional space creates the room you need to cultivate strength, clarity, and focus. On the other hand, surrounding yourself with positive, supportive influences fuels your resilience. These are not people who sugarcoat reality or shield you from challenges, but those who encourage your growth, hold you accountable, and inspire courage. Their presence reminds you that you're not alone in your journey. This support system serves as a reminder of your own strength and potential, especially when your inner resolve wavers. Human connection is a profound source of emotional energy, and choosing to engage with those who uplift you amplifies your capacity to act unmoved in the face of adversity. Your physical environment also matters deeply. Spaces that are cluttered, chaotic, or draining can increase stress and cloud your mind. In contrast, environments that promote calm and order help you maintain emotional balance and mental clarity. Simple changes, organizing your space, incorporating elements of nature, creating areas for rest and reflection, can profoundly impact your ability to stay grounded. When your surroundings support peace and focus, you are better equipped to face challenges without being shaken. Intentionality in choosing your influences and surroundings is an ongoing process. Life constantly shifts, and so do your needs. Regularly assessing what and who you allow into your life keeps your environment aligned with your evolving strength. This practice of mindful curation is an act of respect for yourself and your journey. It reinforces your commitment to resilience by ensuring your external world supports your internal growth. Ultimately, a supportive environment acts as fertile soil for the seeds of your strength to take root and flourish. It doesn't guarantee an easy path, but it provides the necessary conditions to remain unmoved and unbroken. When your environment echoes your inner resilience, you create a powerful feedback loop that fortifies your courage and deepens your resolve. This alignment between inner strength and external support becomes a sanctuary, a place where you can stand firm against any storm, knowing you are nurtured and protected on all fronts.